family. Greetings to everyone. Um, let's see. Having a little issues with my light here, but greetings to everyone. Peace. I'm happy to see everyone join me today. It is Wellness Friday, so welcome back to MaatSpeaks. And we were live last night, but we are live again today for our special Wellness Fridays. And I have my special guest who has come back, and we're going to discuss health. We're going to discuss holistic health. We're going to discuss seasonal changes, all of those different kinds of things today. So if you are new to the channel or you need a refresher, remember here at MaatSpeaks, we are aimed to build a code and culture through the principles of Maat. And we begin by applying those principles to ourselves. Then we extend those principles to our family and ultimately our community. So remember that as you come in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. And you can continue to help this channel grow just by simply liking, subscribing, or sharing the content with someone else. So if you know someone who needs this content, go ahead, hit that share button on your social media platforms or through text message. So anyway, remember that as you know, we have a few ways that you can also support the channel. You know, I have a Cash App, which is MaatSpeaks. My Venmo is MaatSpeaks, and then my PayPal is Gen Health Revolution. You can buy me a cup of tea at buymeacoffee.com/MaatSpeaks. Or you can go over to my website, which is Generational Health Revolution. And that's also my Instagram. So my website is Generational Health Revolution, or you can follow me on Instagram at Generational Health Revolution as well. Okay, so I'm going to get started here. I don't want to keep my guests waiting much longer, but I just wanted to remind you that as we get in, before we get into the conversation, I always like to tell people that as you enter, prepare to open your minds. We have been given that filter that we are accustomed to. And so sometimes we want to defend things that we do not know. So here at MaatSpeaks, we want to make sure that we are consciously and aware of healing ourselves, naming ourselves in a way that is native to who we are. I started this channel so that we could heal ourselves, our community, and build with one another, so we can create a world that our children and future generations do not need to heal from. So let us begin. First, I want to shout out anyone who's already here, a part of the conversation. As always, my love, thank you for always being here and holding down the chats, taking a little break from work and holding down the chat. So thank you for that. Peace to my brother Hack. Peace to you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Peace to Keon Sumter. Thank you for coming through as always. And peace to everyone else who will come and add to the conversation. And we'll try to do like some questions at the end if you have any questions. But yes, make sure to share, subscribe, and support the channel as you can. And we are going to jump right into it. So today is Wellness Fridays, and you know I love to talk about holistic health. I do believe in discussing building with the community. Last night we talked about spirituality, but today I think it's very important that we understand our health and how to build our immune systems, how to create generation. We talk about generational wealth, but generational healing. So without further ado, let's welcome back to MaatSpeaks, Dr. Melanie Stevenson. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome to you. How are you? Good to
I'm
see
doing
you.
well. It's good to see you as well. I really appreciate you coming back and, continuing to do the work in our community because, I say healing is a lifetime process. So I really thank you for coming through. So just anyone who's new to this, new to the channel, new to you, new to the legacy that you're continuing, if you could just let them know who you are, what you do, and where to find you.
Okay. My name is Dr. Melanie Stevenson. I am the late wife of the great Dr. Laila Olela Africa. Um, Dr. Africa was definitely dedicated. He dedicated his whole life so that we could be healthy as a people. He wrote several books. He has classes that will teach you how to be a holistic practitioner. And I'm trying to carry on his legacy so that this information stays present and it helps us and it helps our grandbabies and it helps our lineages from here on out. It's good information. Allopathic medicine, which is white coat medicine, it deals with pharmaceutical drugs. And what we try to do is try to give you a way to heal naturally. So I am definitely committed to making sure that we come together as one people. We help each other. We encourage each other because we come from an enslaved background. And I know it's a lot of people are tired of talking about slavery, but we can't look over it. We still eat from a slave diet.
Mm.
And so we need to transition into eating what nourishes our body and not just what tastes good. So I'm committed to the cause, and thank you so much, Maat, for having me here with you today. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
Yes. Thank you for that. So the best way is to go to the website, correct? And I think I still have that here. Let me make sure.
Yes. The
The
website,
website.
there you go. It's LailaAfrica.com. It will be getting a nice facelift. We are up, getting a new website, but please bear with us. It should be a little while, but we'll be rolling out a lot of stuff. But that website still works where you can get your books,
Mhm.
all things Dr. Africa authentic, your books, your supplements,
Mhm.
your DVDs, your classes. You can go there and get them. So thank you so much for that.
Okay, okay, thank you. So we're going to jump right into the conversation here. So this platform is, it's MaatSpeaks, and it's important that we do understand how to develop the Ma'atic principles and learn how to merge that. Even we spoke last night about Tahuti and how Tahuti is gives the knowledge, the wisdom. So that is important that we do understand those principles. We do understand the balance of the masculine and the feminine. But I think in our community, especially when it comes to our African-centered spaces, we discuss restoring Ma'at, but I think we have a lack of understanding, or maybe it's a lack of application in what it means for the self. We tend to point to things outside of ourselves, like, fix, I gotta fix you. You're the one who needs to be fixed, right?
Mhm, mhm,
I fix myself before I fix myself, because if I fix you, then that's where the issue lies.
mhm.
So what is the importance of restoring my I in the self first?
Well, we'll start off with the principles of Ma'at, which is truth, justice, reciprocity, propriety, balance, harmony, and I'm sure I've left out a few, but to be true to someone else, you have to be true to yourself first.
Hmm.
Okay, to have balance, to really want somebody that reciprocates something to you, you have to give what you want reciprocated. And so
Hmm.
everything starts with self. And so, no matter what you do, if you want to tell the world whatever you want to tell the world, you got to make sure that you're true to yourself. So, you can't talk about something that you're not willing to do on your own. A lot of times, we want to talk and tell people what they should be doing, and we don't do the things that we should be doing. And there's a happy balance to that. We're saying, you know what, I know I'm a work in progress. So, let's work on this together. I know that, I should eat better,
Hmm.
and I shouldn't eat so late,
Right.
or I should change what I'm eating, or I should really start following these food combination laws because I'm getting a little bit of heartburn,
Yeah.
and maybe you can like slow down smoking or stop, So it's not like you're really judging another person, but we're actually doing a communal building for each other so that
Mm-hmm.
no one person is above the other. We all have to be weighed on a feather of
Yes.
Ma'at.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's the most important part, is to reflect on self. Every day of my life, I reflect on me. And you're not always going to be the best,
Right.
but you try your best. When you find out, I know I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe I should be getting more rest,
Mm-hmm.
or you understand maybe I should be doing more. You go the next day and say, you know what, today I'm going to do better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take my supplements. I'm going to eat correctly. I'm going to think good thoughts. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? You have to put all these things into practice every day. Just practice being in the moment. Sometimes we let worry and stress just consume us, and we don't understand, if you're letting worry and stress consume you, you're actually taking that into your diet, and it does affect the body.
Mm. Yes, yes. And the way I kind of think of it, I was doing a series, and I think about it not just, the principles, but actually the judgment scene, right, of the my ad, in how, just like you said, like taking account of your day, like the actions that you did every day. And so you look at even the 42 confessions of Ma'ad, and you can see in the 42 confessions how you do need to be thinking about how you treat your body. It's in the 42 confessions of, not polluting yourself and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, highlighting, also how you treat nature, not
Mm-hmm.
causing harm to yourself. And so I think a lot of the things that we have done, I believe we've normalized trauma in our communities. But I think we've also normalized that trauma or trauma responses in our bodies. So
Mm-hmm.
what are those things that you think, as on a community level, that we have normalized that, in our bodies, or even the way, I guess, the first step is we've normalized the way that we eat, and then we've normalized the responses from those. So what does that look like?
What I think you're conveying is basically a person, like, say, for instance, we all want to eat healthy. It's very few of us now because we're becoming more conscious as a people,
Mhm.
but we have to define what the word healthy means. And
Mm.
so, healthy to you might be that, you can have a sandwich, and, I did good today. I had a sandwich, and I only drank one soda or one pop, and I ate a salad. To someone else like myself, I would say I did good today. I got the correct amount of protein in my diet. I have the correct amount of greens in my diet. I've ingested my raw fat. That's how I think
Mhm.
on how, that's how I've normalized what's normal. So we have to get universal normal.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Yeah.
have to set the record straight. What does normal really look like? And so I try not to judge people who are eating in a way that the body will punish them, because whether we like it or not, and no matter what we tell ourselves, you could tell yourself this hamburger is healthy because it's
Yeah.
meat, and it has like some vegetables on it. But let me tell you something, the body says you're not combining your foods correctly. You
Mhm.
cannot put a protein and a carbohydrate together. Carbohydrate being the bun, the protein being the meat. The body says, I'm only going to digest one of them. So it looks like I'm going to just take the tomato and the lettuce and digest it. And the rest of it is just going to float in your intestines, and you can figure out how it's going to digest.
Mhm.
And when you do this over a period of time, that's when we come in dis-ease or disorder. So that's one way that we can start our day. And what's correct, we should search what really is correct, not what makes you feel good.
Mhm.
Don't get into this feel good
Yeah.
medicine type of thing. Some people like, I drank a bottle of water today. That's very good that you drank a bottle of water. However, I want you to continue to drink your bottle of water, but you need to know how much you weigh. And it is very imperative that you drink half your body weight in ounces, just to keep from being dehydrated.
Mhm.
And so it gives a standard.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're working towards as a people. I'm speaking it into existence to say, you know what, I know I'm doing well, but how can I do better? How can
Yeah.
I do better? And
I,
so that's for all of us.
and I think like even with dehydration, right? I don't even think we really know what that feels like.
Hmm.
Because we think of dehydration as someone who's like, they're showing like these signs, like they have to go to the hospital, you got to get pumped full of fluids back into your body. So, what are some common like regular signs that you're dehydrated?
Most of us are perpetually dehydrated, by the way. It
Mhm.
could show up in dry skin.
Yeah.
Okay. It could also show up with cotton mouth,
Mhm.
always feeling like you're thirsty. Your urine can look really clear. People think that clear urine is just great. That's a sign of dehydration. There are a lot of ways that dehydration can show itself. Your eyes can start to feel really like dry and itchy.
Mhm.
Okay. And so your circulation could be very poor
Yeah.
from being dehydrated. So it can show itself in many ways, and that's just a few.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, thank you for that, because I know that we kind of we normalize a lot of the symptoms. Like when we get, a person gets headaches and they just think, oh, that's normal that I have headaches, because you can go and you can get something over the counter and relieve that headache, but you're not dealing with what is what's causing the headaches. So I think that's very important that we do understand
The
what
warning systems of the body.
warning systems and what wellness actually feels like.
Yes.
So, and I think that's a hard thing for us because we've been indoctrinated into disease, like this disease state, this
Hmm.
disease, place that we're living in. So,
Hmm.
we don't even know what fresh air smells like, so,
Until you get in fresh air and be like, what was I breathing?
right.
Have you ever like had something to eat and it's like, this tastes really good, but then you get something fresh and it's the same
Mhm.
thing. And you're like, oh my God, I'll never go back and eat that
Yeah.
again. You
Yeah.
know, we to live on this earth is to become self-aware,
Hmm.
aware of your environment. Okay. And we're forever growing. And to understand that what you're knowing today might not be your same knowing tomorrow,
Mm.
that things constantly change as you evolve in your understanding. And I like when you did your open, you said you told people to keep an open mind. And
Hmm.
you tell them to keep an open mind because we're taught that we colonialize information. Oh, I already know that.
Yeah.
And it feels good, but it doesn't always, and it's not always necessarily the truth.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so I have had to reconcile a lot of my thought processes as I have grown.
Yeah.
Even in this past year,
Mhm, mhm,
what I thought was the truth in real, I had to reevaluate it, and I had to, I had to update
mhm,
my computer and say, you know what, that no longer serves me anymore. I
mm,
see that there's truth somewhere else where I thought it was here. And
mhm,
so, as long as we keep that open mind, so kudos to you, Maat, for just helping us to remember that as much as we want to know everything, it's
mhm.
really not possible. As long as
Yes,
you're breathing, you're going to learn something different and new.
that's very true. That's very true. It's so much knowledge. It's impossible. I think that's what they say, that is the example of like a person who's intelligent knowing that they know nothing. you
That's
know.
correct.
Uh-huh.
You're only as smart as what you don't know. And I don't know a whole lot. And I'm not afraid to say, you know what, let me look this up. Because everything you shouldn't keep in your mind.
Mhm.
I had to train myself for that. Dr. Africa had to train me and say, you know what, there's certain things that you can pull from memory, but there's other things that you shouldn't clutter your brain with. Just know
Mhm.
where to fetch it,
Yeah, where to
Sankofa.
find
Know how to go back and get it. And so I've learned that, and it's humbled me a lot, because some people, just because they can spit it off, you're like, wow, they're so smart, and they are very smart people. But be smart enough to know this is something that I can look up, and this is something that I should know second nature.
Mm.
So, it's just that constant evolution of understanding self. All we're talking about today is self. And you're only as strong as you help yourself each day. So let's give an example. This morning, what did we eat this morning? And so everybody that's listening, just think, what did you do this morning? When you got up in the morning, did you say a positive affirmation? Did you wake up feeling good this morning? And if you did good, great. But when you don't wake up feeling good, what do you do in that sense? You say, you know what, I'm gonna feel good. I'm gonna get me some good water. I'm gonna cleanse my system. Did you drink your water this morning? Did you take proper supplementation this morning? Did you take cleansing foods this morning? And
Mm.
if you didn't do it, if you ate bacon and eggs, okay, which impairs your body. Just
Right.
think, your body is like this high powered car. It's only going to perform by the gas you put in it.
Yeah.
And so if you keep on putting like junk foods or non foods inside of your body's going to perform as such. So just taking inventory every day of how you're feeling and what you're feeling, and having a standard for how you feel. Just don't get up and say, oh, today I'm feeling like this. I get up and say, no, today this is how I'm going to feel.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
understand? Just priming your day. And another thing I wanted to speak to was when you were talking about headaches.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dangerous for us to normalize a headache.
Mm.
When you get headaches inside the body, it's a warning system. It's like someone coming into your house without a key because they don't belong, and an alarm goes off. You
Mm-hmm.
get the notification on your phone that your alarm has gone off. You don't just take the phone and just say ignore the alarm. You want to actually look and see what has happened, who is in your house, what time. But we don't take that same approach to our human bodies. We have to start doing that. Why am I having a headache?
Mm.
What did I eat? Am I having a shortness of breath? Did I sleep? We got to start going through these checklists. We
Yeah.
are so divorced from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we start to have tragic things happen. When you say, you know what, someone tragically had a stroke or aneurysm or heart attack, they have been having these warning signs go off, but maybe they weren't aware what it was actually saying inside the body. So we do have to be self-aware as much as possible, and we have to learn to be self-aware as we go every day.
Mm. Yes. That's and I think about because last year when we spoke about having a bit like the village mentality. So, we have you know, since I've been around, it's been, it's gotten less and less of that community. And a lot of community that we spoke about this a few weeks ago, a lot of community that we desire, we might have had it when we were, in our churches and things like that. But now that, a lot of us have kind of left that, or, even people who are, still believe in a certain way, maybe they just don't go. But, it has that lack of community has affected our relationships. So
Mhm.
I do see that what we do is like we commune, right? We commune around tragedy. We commune around disease. We come together, when someone transitions, or, during the holidays where there's a lot of bad food. So we commune around that. But I do truly believe that we need to start communing around healing, and that we cannot actually heal without community. So, how do we start using community to heal as opposed to what we're currently doing?
So what's really exciting is there's this amazing young lady, and her name is Maat. And what's so amazing about Maat is that what she speaks, she's actually speaking it into existence, and she's actually doing it. And you would be so surprised that every time my aunt gets out and she speaks and she gives that vibrance of health and wellness, the
Mhm.
people that actually look at my aunt, they take some of that vibration back to their own village and they do it a little bit at a time. You
Mm,
would be surprised that you would think that we're not doing anything because it's in so many small pockets. But
mhm.
maybe, just maybe one day, we might wake up and we might have a whole like village. We might have a whole world full of people that are vibrating on a level of community. We're
Mm,
actually working on that. You know how they say each one
mhm. Teach one. Yeah.
teach one,
Mhm.
but you first got to be one. And
Yeah.
so you're that one. I am that one.
Mhm.
Dr. Africa was that one.
Mhm.
Dr. Henry Clark was that one. You just do the best you can.
Mm.
You put your intentions there and you drop these seeds. And it's these young people, they're hungry to know about self because it's not being taught in schools.
Yeah.
And so you ask, how do we do it? We do it the way we're doing it right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you believe, you just visualize that we're coming together because
Right.
we are really coming together. Just
Mhm.
like I saw your intro, amazing,
Oh.
amazing.
Yeah.
You're the example. You
Mhm.
are absolutely the example. And then we tell these young people, you have something to say. We
Mhm.
want to hear you. We want to hear you talk about healthy things. We
Mhm.
have to change the narrative. The narrative that we have that we come together with is fighting on the internet.
Yeah.
If you got drama and you got someone fighting, or if you got controversy, that's when you see a lot of people gather.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
have to change the narrative to say, you know what, albeit that this does happen, there's a lot of intelligent people in our community that can teach you something that can enhance your life. We have to start just putting more energy into that and basically turning our face away from all the negativity. So if something happens, don't have an opinion on something that's going to break somebody down, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Mm.
Say, you know what, I see that this is going on and it makes me sad, but this right here is what I choose to focus on.
Mhm.
And and we start reaching back and we start, like I say, helping the young people, teaching them, putting the energy there, putting the energy into our elderly. There
Mhm.
are libraries. We have perpetually been taught to disrespect them like they don't know anything. They walked farther than we have. They have a lot to give us. And there's wise ones and unwise ones. I'm just telling you, and the unwise ones, you still commune with them and tell them it's okay and help each other. That's how we do it. You
Mm.
become that. And you are. You
Mhm.
are. And because you're doing it, I full belief that because of my aunt, you'll probably have, I'll say, 1,000 people in your lifetime or more
Mhm.
that will do what you're doing because they see at the quality and level that you're doing it. So I
Mhm.
want to just tell you, just publicly, job well done, and continue. And you continue speaking life and it'll happen. And
Thanks.
I'll do it and it will happen.
I appreciate that because sometimes you see you can't what is the saying? You can't see the trees for the
Trees for the
forest.
forest. Mm-hmm.
And so you see a lot of the negativity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you're like, I'm not making a difference, you know? So I definitely appreciate that. And I look at that as a reciprocal exchange because you've been doing the work, right? Like for so long. And it's like the ones that are wanting to see the changes, we have to step up and we have to do the work as well. So
And
I do.
it's not a spotlight
Mhm.
sometimes on the light workers,
Mhm. Yeah.
but you can't, not, you shouldn't stop giving your light.
Mhm.
Okay. We're not the popular ones. It might, you might have 10 or 15 people that might want to listen to what you're listening to, but those 10 or 15 people, you can't touch the people that they can. If you
Mhm.
just touch one person, you've done your job. So
Mhm.
we just have to focus on doing the work and not being popular. You
Mm,
know, some people just want to be popular. It's the
that's
word and the message that you're actually giving. And
true.
so I'm ready for that's what we're doing. I'm not going to say ready and we doing it right now. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I get into it and say, okay, so let's talk about people's sicknesses and how we can get better. There is an alternative out there. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to just only go to the hospital. You don't only have to take drugs. You can actually change your health by what you eat, by what you think, by your environment.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep on repeating it until we beat people's ears down. Like Dr. Africa said, no white flour, no white sugar. He constantly, no processed foods. And
Mm-hmm.
as much as he said it, we still got to tell people what's food and what's not food.
Yeah.
So, you know, you do the grassroots thing. That's what we're doing.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So I want to get into the changes in the season, because I think a lot of things happen for us as a community around this time that, it's kind of the elephant in the room. So this time of year can be, I know it can be stressful, and I'm gonna be honest, this particular season, because I was talking about this with my husband. I was like, why am I feeling it more? And so this particular year, as far as the changes, the lack of the lack of sun, and cold weather, just for how it affects us, because I know that it can truly affect us differently. And I saw this stat because I know a lot of people or aware of the guy Twitch who just killed himself as well,
Mm.
and those things that happen. Oh, peace. King Simon went to say hey to you.
Hey, King.
And
That's my brother.
yeah. So but I do know that I saw this stat earlier today. It just kind of popped on my timeline, so I thought it would fit into what we were talking about. And let me see here. It's okay. So it was saying that is it kind of post? Okay, there we go. It says that 53% among Black Americans since 2007. So suicide rates have gone up since then. And you've heard, we've been hearing a lot about that more and more over the past few years,
Hmm.
because once upon a time, it was like, oh, we don't do that, right?
Hmm.
There is something also that we call seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder.
Sad. Hmm.
Right. And that's a type of depression triggered by the change of seasons, and most
Hmm.
commonly begins in late fall. Now, one thing that, because I was in a group last month, and we were talking about, and this, guy who was in the group, and he was just saying that, he's been doing a lot of writing, but it's like, it's sad. He said, I can't seem to not write um sad things right now. Like, and I told him, that may be just the season that you're in, maybe honoring that, seeing where that's stemming from, where that's coming from. So I know for me, what's really been happening is that I've been having a difficult time sticking to the same routine that I was sticking to, like in the spring and the summer. And I think, like a lot of animals, they do also act differently in the fall and winter months. So you have, hibernation that happens and things like that. So I guess the question is how do we honor this time when we're dealing with the lack of sunlight, dealing with the colder temperatures? What should that look like for us health wise when we're going through these changes in seasons?
Well, one thing we have to acknowledge is that we're all going through a whole lot. You know, a lot of people are going through, you don't know what the person is going through.
Mm-hmm.
That's first and foremost. I lost my mother 6 months ago and it knocked me out. Okay. And so, how do we cope with, depression?
Mm-hmm.
How do we cope with mourning? We
Mhm.
don't get a chance to really talk about it because people kind of throw a blanket over it.
Mhm.
And until we start really uncovering these things and we can really talk about it as if this is something that happens in life,
Mhm.
you understand? Just say, for instance, the young man, bless his soul, that took his life, he was going through something.
Yeah.
He was going through something. And that's where the village, we have to be more conscious and
Mhm.
aware of the people that are around us. You understand? And then
Mhm.
sometimes people don't open up. They won't really tell you what's going on. But
Mhm.
just to let people know, I know something's going on and I'm just thinking about you and are you okay, and checking on people and being more proactive. And for myself, this is a very hard season for me. I will use myself as an example. And because this is a season where I'm used to having my mom, you
Yeah.
understand? And
Yeah.
I've lost my husband. So it's kind of compounded. So what I choose to do is I choose to celebrate them in this season, even though I still isolate.
Mhm.
I try to make sure that I eat correctly. I allow myself to mourn. I do
Yeah.
not judge myself in my mourning. And it's okay to be down. We have down moments. We have
Mm.
to understand that everything's not always happy.
Yeah.
Every, things do happen to us.
Mhm.
And it's when it happens, how do we respond to it? What is the correct response when you're feeling down? Positive affirmations,
Mhm.
believing in something much larger than yourself,
Mhm.
knowing that you have purpose. We have to know that each and every being on this planet has a purpose. Whether you're whether you know it or not, you have a purpose, and you not being here in an untimely fashion would hurt
Mhm.
so many people that you can't even imagine.
Mhm.
Okay. And so we have to speak these things into existence. You
Yeah.
understand that? And so for me, I make sure when I get up in the morning, I eat my herbs. I eat herbs. I eat ginger root. I'm a
Yeah.
ginger root queen. I gotta have my ginger root. And when I cry good tears, and I say I'm sad right now, but
Mhm.
I'm glad that my mom is on the other side and she's not suffering. I'm glad my husband don't have to deal with Negroes. You understand what I'm saying? He can give us energy. I try to think happy thoughts because
Yeah.
I need that, and
Mhm.
we need that. We need that platform to be able to come and cocoon each other and tell each other it's okay to
Mhm.
feel sad,
Yeah.
because it's a correct feeling. It's how long you're sad.
Mm.
Any feeling that lasts for a long amount of time, that's when it becomes a mood.
Mm.
And so we're talking about the mood of depression, meaning this person had been depressed for a very long time.
Mhm.
And then that's when you need intervention.
Mm.
And so just being conscious of the people that are around you, it's so important
Yeah.
to say, how are you doing? Like for
Mhm.
me, and I'm not around a lot of people and I have isolated.
Mm.
People have tried to reach out to me and I have not responded.
Mm.
Okay. Which is a sign of
Yeah.
depression. But I want to hear, and I want to just get it all out. I don't want to involve anybody in my bad days. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? But I know that the days are going to get better. Me here with you today is
Mhm.
me working through a hard time. And
Mm.
so if I can talk about my hard time,
Mhm.
it'll open up the platform for somebody else to talk about their hard time.
Yes.
People are losing their jobs, they're losing family members, you know, they're losing their own self-esteem by things that are happening online. We have to
Mm.
be so careful. Sometimes we look at what everybody else has and we think that we should have what they do, and we don't, and we're down on ourselves because we're measuring ourselves to somebody else's life. Just know that you're enough with what you have. Just the simple things, just speaking that into the existence, into the universe, and to
Mm.
these people. Just because you're quiet and you may not be online, you still matter. You
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
And so we have to take those steps. Personally, I take those steps and I try to step outside of myself and take those steps. And when I see someone and I see that they're down, I tell them it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be okay. And even when you don't think it's going to be okay, use the mantra, it's going to be okay, because what you speak into existence is what it is. If you keep on saying, I'm sad, I'm depressed, the body believes you.
Right.
And
Right.
so the body will follow suit. So I'm so happy that you've given this platform to even talk about seasonal affective
Mm-hmm.
disorder. I still wear bright colors sometimes. I won't wear black, okay, which is a color that people normally wear when they're mourning, you know. So I try to like the colors that I wear, the music that I listen to. I like wearing fragrance, you know, my olfactory. I like to smell good. You know, my mom used to love to wear perfume. So I just do things like that to try to make myself feel better. And for us, for someone else, is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be different. You might, if your grandmama passed away and she raised you, and now you're going through the Christmas season, the holiday season, the family season, and you don't have those family members around you, just do something to commemorate them, because
Mm-hmm.
they're with you.
Yeah.
So that's what I can deposit in this seasonal affective disorder. And yes, we are the people of the sun.
Mm.
We were made for the sun. So there are light bulbs that you can buy inside of Home Depot.
Yeah.
And they're called daylight bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
And they $9. You might be able to get them for cheaper than that or a little bit more than that. Start
They
taking
last
some
a
of
long.
those.
They last a long time.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Go and get and change your light bulbs. Do
Mm-hmm.
whatever you can do in your own paradigm to help keep yourself uplifted. Because remember, things only last for a season.
Yes, and that's what I was just about to say. Sometimes we just got to get past the season, figuratively and literally. You
Yes.
know, and a lot of times it's so hard for us to get past that season. Um,
Yes.
and that's what, a lot of times when I hear about people, taking their life or doing, it doesn't even have to be that. I remember seeing this video where this woman saw something from the I guess her boyfriend in his phone, and she
Mm-hmm.
ends up making this drastic decision to run him over, right? And then she ends up killing someone else. She didn't kill him, but she killed an older man.
Mm-hmm.
And then, to find out that what she saw wasn't what she thought it was. And
Mm.
just to think that because you just got so outraged in that moment that you end up taking someone's life and ruining the rest of your life.
That's correct.
And, so that is important that we learn how to, and that is tied back to community. And Dr. Stevenson, I want to thank you for sharing that, because a lot of times we don't, when people are in a certain field, you don't think about them going through things,
Mm-hmm.
and that's very important for us to understand that we as a people, we need each other because we all go through things. We all have our seasons. We all go through things where people transition out of our lives, or even
Correct.
people who are alive transition out of our lives, and we mourn that.
That's
And
right.
so, I really appreciate you for sharing that and coming and being a part of this. And even if you're still in that mourning stage. So I really do appreciate that.
Not a problem. And I thank you for allowing me to have the platform to do it, because I know that this seasonal affective disorder, it can happen in the wintertime, it can happen in the
Mhm.
spring, it can happen so many different, it can happen in so many different places. We just have to know that if you're going through something,
Yeah.
reach out to someone. If you're feeling like you want to take your own life,
Mhm.
there's people out there that really love you and that really care, and please just talk to somebody, you
Mhm.
know. Let someone get around a group of people, or get around a person or older person or somebody that can give you that strength to get through that hard time. And we cannot be led by our emotions, and we are trained by this internet, you know. We all this, and not just the internet, we have movies and they
Mhm.
basketball wives and all this stuff. This is what you do, you get so
Yep.
outraged.
Mhm.
We're humans, we make mistakes. You
Mhm.
have, if I can make a mistake, then that means someone else can make a mistake. So say if you did have a man and he did cheat on you, it's not warranted for his life to be taken.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
made a mistake. It's up to you to make the choice on how you're going to respond to his mistake. But to take his life, that's way, way, way out of line. And so that's when we have to raise the vibration and say, we're not going to fight each other anymore. We're
Mhm.
not going to do that. We're going to look at our infirmities. We've all been damaged in some way.
Yeah.
You understand? And so even if you do something wrong, have you ever been in a situation where you've seen somebody that has done something wrong and everybody wants to talk about, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong.
Mhm.
Instead of calling a person and saying, you know what, it's okay. There's provisions that can be made. Just acknowledge, what has gone on, but I'm going to support you, in your transformation and in the decision. And hopefully, you'll make the decision not to make that decision anymore, instead of laughing and ostracizing and talking about, what this person did and how many views you can get for it.
Mm.
You don't know whose spirit you're actually hurting by doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. So one thing that, and if anyone, we're getting to the top of the hour, so if anyone has any questions that they would like to ask Dr. Stevenson, put them in the chat, and we can go from there. But one thing that I think about is there are a lot of things that come out of this season, like diseases such as the flu, and things like that. So I know a lot of times we don't tie it to the way that we're eating in these seasons.
Right, right.
Like, oh, this is the flu season. And so, can you tell us what is happening when we're eating the way that we're eating? Like, people who celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then boom, they're sick. What is that tied to?
Okay, so this is cool. You have this human body, and you're feeding this human body junk food, which is lowering your resistance to be able to fight off a cold, a common cold. The immune system works when you catch a cold.
Hmm.
Some people's immune systems are strong, and other people's immune systems are weak.
Hmm.
The difference is a person that eats correctly, that doesn't indulge in eating a lot of, junk foods. They're taking supplementation. They're more conscious of their food combination and what they're eating. When the cold comes to them, when they're in the environment of this disease, their immune system is strong enough to ward it off,
Hmm.
versus the person who might, they might still be a little healthy, but they may not be eating foods that are actually foods. So they're eating a lot of processed foods, a
Hmm.
lot of junk foods. They're not taking any supplementation. They're just living life. They're just going about life every day, like,
Right.
like they see their like they see their cousins and everybody do. And then they say, you know what? I caught a cold. What does that mean? It means we all are in the environment of the diseases and disorders,
Hmm.
okay? And the bacteria. We all are around it. It's how high is your resistance to that bacteria?
Hmm.
And when you start to be more conscious of it, for me now, I've started taking supplementation of elecampane, horehound, all these different things that strengthen the immune system, because I am mourning. When you're upset, when you're sad, it lowers your resistance. It makes you more susceptible to diseases and disorders. I already know that. I
Hmm.
mean, I have had some days where I'm like, I've gotten a cough, and my cough has lasted longer than what it would normally last because of my resistance was already low. And if I
Hmm.
had to really be honest with you, I probably indulged in a couple things I had no business indulging in.
Right.
And if I do that, I'm going to pay for it immediately. So we have to be conscious of what we're actually eating and what we're taking. Let's talk about supplementation. People don't understand, and it's like a black cloud over people taking herbs and supplements. They
Hmm.
tell you, you know what, I'm not taking that. It's part of it's a plant.
Hmm.
It's a plant. We should actually incorporate that into our daily meals. That's
Hmm.
why you have spices.
Hmm.
In back in the day, they used to put the spices on the food. That's like supplementing what they're eating to keep their immune system strong. We've lost that whole way of thinking. We wait till we get sick or we
Yeah.
don't feel well, and then we go and we try to find zinc lozenges, emergency C's, Ella campaigns, Mullen, and all these different things. When in this season, you should already be taking it and have it inside your body. So when you're going around all these germy people,
Mm-hmm.
and I love little babies and little kids, but they can be germy too because they're in the schools and they're bringing it home. So
Yeah.
you have to just really do the preventative thing. So the preventative thing is saying, I don't wait till I get sick. I'm taking lots of supplementation before I get sick. And if
Mm.
you know in your family, like say if you have high blood pressure in your family, you should be taking things that helps you regulate your pressure. You should be avoiding things that keeps your pressure high. So you're not going to eat a lot of salt. You're not going to eat a lot of fried foods. You're going to manage eating that. You
Mm.
understand? Instead of eating the same thing that the person that has the condition, and then you say, well, I got it because my grandmother had it, or I got it because my dad had it. No, you got it because you ate the same way they did and you got the condition like they did.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm. So, one thing that it was something you just said that sparked something, but I
I
lost it.
apologize.
Oh no,
Run
no,
them out.
it's okay. Oh, I know. Also, when it comes to, because we know that taking, like you said, the herbs are important to take. What about the way, how should we be detoxing our bodies or cleansing our bodies? Is it a daily thing where the foods you eat, or should there be days where you just stop eating and focus on just water? What do you say, especially when the seasons are changing?
It's different for all of us. It
Hmm.
depends on your activity. Some people can't stop eating because of their activity because they do so much they need the energy from the foods. But everything that you said is correct. So you can do it on a daily basis where some people will break their fast, breakfast. They won't start eating until 12 noon.
Right.
And they'll just drink water and they'll drink lovely teas like I've seen you sip on. That was so fitting. You know, they drink things like that to
Hmm.
help cleanse their system out because the body's already starting to cleanse from 4 a.m. to
Hmm.
12 noon. That is the cleansing time of the body. So you can do it that way. Or you can say, you know what, if you're a meat eater, you can say, I'm going to spend this week and I'm not going to eat any meat. I'm going to eat vegetables this week to help cleanse the meat out of my system.
Hmm.
Or if you're a person and you purge off of, like, if you love sweets, you'll say, you know what, this week I'm gonna find an alternative. Instead of me eating candy, instead of me eating cakes, I'm gonna eat fruit. And so you just try to find that healthy alternative to help you to cleanse. Cleanse, some people say, I'm going through a cleanse. It means something different to everybody. Are you cleansing your organs? Are you cleansing your blood? Are you cleansing your mind? Cleansing can be, you know what, I'm not going to watch TV.
Yep.
Or, it's
Stay
a
off of
different
social
way.
media.
That's right. I'm going to cleanse social media. That's correct. And that's hard because, we become attached to it.
Hmm.
So a physical cleanse for me is to start by watching what you're actually putting in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you're cleansing and you're eating bad foods, you're not going through a proper cleanse.
Mm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
your body is a container, it's like a receptacle. To take the trash out, you can't keep on putting trash inside the receptacle. You have to close the receptacle, you
Mm.
understand? And then you have to deal with the trash that's in it. So when you are putting things inside the receptacle, it's cleansing things. It's okra pods, it's flax seeds, it's drinking water, it's eating maybe a lot more green leafy vegetables. You understand what I'm saying? So it's combining your foods correctly. I keep on saying food combining because we have some healthy people, but they just aren't combining it. So it just depends on where you are in your health and your evolution. So, yes, this is the season to start cleansing right now. And
Mm.
I know today is the what? The 6th. What's today's date?
The 16th.
Today's the 16th. We have Christmas coming and we have New Year's. Not all of us practice Christmas and New Year's. Not all of us practice it.
We eat during
But
Kwanzaa too.
and Kwanzaa, okay? We got Kwanzaa. And so you understand that sometimes you can have a Kwanzaa ceremony giving out donuts. Okay? I'm not judging, but you have to know once you've taken in all that waste, there's a collateral damage to that.
Mm,
And so
okay.
you could be taking cleansing stuff and saying, I'm taking this cleansing stuff because I know I'm about to start eating crazy. Or you can eat crazy and then cleanse afterwards. Or you can eat crazy and not cleanse and just let it be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Roll the dice.
Yeah.
So it's just your level of awareness. I try to bring people to the level of awareness. I want people to take supplementation at least 2 to 3 weeks out of each month.
Okay.
Find something to cleanse. Like say for instance, your liver. Your liver helps to get rid of all the waste in your body. So try to clean your liver in January. Get, especially those of us who like to eat a lot of sugar and drink alcohol. Clean your liver out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the next month, let's work on our circulatory system. Each month, find something to work on inside of your body. You
Mm-hmm.
know how your body's really feeling. Where everybody's different. Everybody's different. And so we should adapt something, some point of cleansing and be intentional about it. And so that's what you're asking me. Should we be intentional about cleansing ourselves? Yes, we should.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good idea to pick something to cleanse every month. I like that. Uh and when you talk about and briefly, because I know food combining is a whole thing, right? Like we
Mm-hmm.
can have a whole workshop on food combining. But what's
Mm-hmm.
something simple that people can do to properly food combine, or I guess more of what not to do if you really want to work on your food digesting properly?
Okay, so let's talk about it. We're gonna have a Christmas dinner, you and I.
Hmm.
Okay, grandma and everybody to cook. So you got dressing. What else do you have in this
Uh,
dinner?
well,
Turkey.
turkey, yeah,
We
turkey, hen, then mashed potatoes.
macaroni and cheese.
Hmm.
I think they have a sauce.
Yeah,
And
cranberry
for the
sauce.
vegans and vegetarians, you got some tofu. You done brought your little container of tofu so you can say righteousness and some greens. But for the people who don't know, let's talk about to the ones who really don't know.
Hmm.
So first, if you're going to eat a protein, if you're going to eat one of those meats, you can only have it with the vegetable. So you can't have the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the dressing. You either got to have the turkey with the green beans and the greens, or you can have the macaroni and cheese with the greens, but you cannot. Protein only combines with the vegetable. So then if you want to eat the macaroni and cheese, you got to wait 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, and then you eat the macaroni and cheese with the greens. So you're not going to have a full plate with turkey, dressing, macaroni and cheese, corn, greens. You getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like, okay, I know I want to eat this, but I'm going to eat it in a timely fashion. So you're going to eat the protein with the vegetables, and you're going to eat the carbohydrates with the vegetables, and you're going to give time in between it. And that's the best way to do it. And you're not going to drink and eat at the same time.
That's a whole type of discipline,
Mm-hmm.
because we have been accustomed, because if you go out to eat or you go to a party, you're they're feeding you all of that, and then you have after that you're eating your dessert right after. You're not
Mm-hmm.
waiting 5 hours to eat your dessert. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a discipline in itself. But I think it's important for us to understand that, because even if you can't do it during the holidays, like
Mm-hmm.
trying to incorporate that into your lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, on a non-holiday day,
Mm-hmm.
as much as we can. I know for me, drinking, because I mean that's how I grew up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother would be like, "You need something to wash that down with."
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
yeah. So we are going to wrap up, but I did want to ask you, because there was this thing that went around, I think it was during the summertime, maybe I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember, but they were talking about, I'm not sure if you saw it, but she was talking about the young lady, and they were sitting next to her, they were eating, and she said that was a low, I think she called it a low vibration plate, low vibrational plate, because it had like a whole lot of different foods on it. Just kind of like what you're talking about. Like when you go to Thanksgiving dinner, you pile your plate up with everything. The whole spread is on your plate. So she was calling a plate like that low vibration. Now, how is that linked to your frequency, to your vibration? Is that linked to that?
Okay, so we're talking about energy.
Mhm.
And you have some food to give you energy, and you have other food that don't give you no energy.
Mhm.
If you have someone who takes a Snickers and they eat the Snickers as a snack, and they start acting hyper, you get these children sweets.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a carbohydrate, so it's fast, it's quick burning,
Mhm.
and so it gives you energy. But then what does it do? It bottoms you out. You're like tired. It's like a
Yeah.
drug. And so what you're actually saying is what they're eating, is it, how much nutrition are you actually getting from it? Are you gaining full nutrition from it? Are you just eating? There's a lot of things that we put on our plate, that we put in our mouth, that has zero nutrition to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would be equivalent to something giving you low to no energy, because it's not a food. But you have other foods that may be good, but you cook the heck out of it. You got greens and they brown, and you put fat back and pig feet and all that in there, and that would be considered a low vibration food, because you overcook the greens
Yeah.
and you have animal fat in there, and so the body doesn't get that much energy from it. So yes, your energy levels are connected to what you eat, and that's something that we should teach children.
Mhm.
you know, are you eating a food? So every time they want to ask for a bag of potato chips or something like that, just let them know that you're asking me to eat something that is not nutritious. It's like eating a fake food. And we
Mhm.
should almost tell them that this is fake. You want to eat this fake thing because it has synthetically been genetically modified to your taste buds to taste good, but it's not a food. We
Mm.
really have to look at this and dissect this to understand what's a food and what's not a food. So kudos to the young lady when she says, you know what, this is a low vibration food. And I will translate even more of what she's saying. What you're eating, that's not food. You're
Mm.
eating it. And that's why sometimes we overeat,
Yeah.
because you ate something, you're hungry because it wasn't a food.
Mhm. Yeah. And they're growing food in laboratories now, right? Like so it's even getting more insane and fake, you know,
Right.
where you're eating something, but not only is it not satisfying you, but now it's like you're like pouring chemicals into your body, and what the long-term effects of that is even going to look like. So, it's difficult out here, so, we have to, as a community, we're going to have to start really thinking about like producing and growing our own food. But yeah, it's really, and I'm not sure if we, well, I'll just ask you this, as far as taking supplements and herbs and things like that. What are some things that you suggest around this time that could help people with, with the changes of season?
Well, on our website, lightelaafrica.com, Dr. Africa actually put formulas together. So
Okay.
he put a group of herbs and supplementation.
Mm-hmm.
So at this season, it would be good for you to clean your cells. And we have a product called Cellular Cleanse. And the reason why, cells make tissue, tissue make organs, and your organs make your organ systems. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to go to the very building block of your tissue to try to get the waste out of it. So I tell people to take the cellular cleanse and the blood purifier, clean the blood out, get rid of the blood. So once you get rid of the bad blood, because when you're eating bad foods and the body breaks it down, it goes into the bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
And when it goes into the bloodstream, the body then tries to get it out through the skin and through your bowels. But
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't always happen, because if you're eating bad foods every day, when can you cleanse it out? You just become a walking trash can. So we're going to start off by taking a cellular cleanse, a blood purifier. We're going to drink half our body weight in ounces.
Mm-hmm.
just to keep from being dehydrated. And we're going to make sure that we don't eat and drink at the same time. And when you eat in the morning, make sure you're eating cleansing foods. So we
Right.
have to also, at last, I would say, do like a colon cleanse. Let's start to get all this waste that's been sitting in our colon for a long time. So
Mm-hmm.
take flax seeds, okra pods, or you can get our colon formula. But you can do a singular herb, or you can do a herb that has a lot of combination to it.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's best to kind of, is it best to take in pill form, powder, um or just how I think I remember Dr. Africa saying however you can take it. Like what
Yes.
what yeah.
However, you can get it down. So this is the thing. So we sell things in powder and pills. Some people can't
Mhm.
swallow pills, but
Okay.
other people they don't like the taste of the powder. I am addicted to, taking it in powder form because
Okay.
I'm a rebel with a cause. I mean, I
Yeah.
like tasting the bitterness of, the
Mhm.
supplementation, but it's however you can get it into yourself.
Mhm.
Also, I would like to say before we leave, this 2023, learn how to take care of each other. Take the Dr. Africa method, his holistic nutritional counselor course. You
Mhm.
can actually take it. If I teach it live, I do it in 3 parts where you can actually look at somebody and tell what's going on with them, and then you can give them a proper diet to give them. Look, stay away from this. Put this inside of your diet. I can see that your liver is struggling or that you're having digestive issues, so that we're not doing casino health for each other. We're not saying, well, just take these blueberries and blueberries help everything. It sounds good, but we have specific diseases and disorders, and it's time for us to educate ourselves so that we can help not only ourselves but the people around us. And some of you might even want to make a business out of it, which Dr. Africa has taught thousands and thousands of people all over the world. So that's something that I'm trying to continue.
So Sister Cheryl here, she says, do you believe that H320 is the best water for you?
I believe that spring water is the best for you. Your liver knows how to alkalinize water. So as long as it's a spring water and
Mhm.
it comes from a spring source. So when you get your bottled water, you look at the source and it should be someplace that you can Google and see that there's water on the land.
Mhm.
The body knows how to break those minerals down and stack them. That's what the liver does, and put it in the bloodstream so that the rest of your body can use it. So spring water is is the best for you. Just regular spring water. The body knows what to do, and make sure that you drink it room temperature. Which I'm so guilty. I like it cold.
Yeah, I like cold water too.
I know. I'm like, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I
Mhm.
know I shouldn't be doing this. So let me get this warm water. Let me get a cute cup and put some warm water in it so I can drink it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, and I've heard I've heard some people saying that, you should only be getting your water like from from fruits and things like that. So they don't believe in getting water, like actually drinking water. So I have heard that information lately.
Okay, so can I speak to that?
Mhm.
So vegetables have a high level of water in them. This is true.
Mhm.
When the water stays in your body longer when you're eating it from your fruits and your vegetables, this is true.
Okay.
You're not eating enough fruits and vegetables to reach the threshold of what your body needs to keep you from being dehydrated.
Mhm.
So them complementary, you drinking the water and putting a little bit of juice in it. So you'll put like anything organic. So you'll have water, you'll put
Mhm.
something organic in it, like organic apple juice, just a little bit, and you'll drink it, and the body will hold it long enough so that it will be held as food. If you
Mm.
drink just spring water without anything in it, you'll pee a lot. The body it'll just go straight through you. But you need it to be something to be colloidal. Colloidal means something is balanced inside the water. The water is actually floating in the water, so that the body, when you drink it, the body say, "Oh, this is food. Let me process it."
Mm.
Okay, so spring water is good. The vegetable, that is correct about vegetables. It does have a lot of water in it. But then when you're making the vegetables, if you put salt in your vegetables, and you didn't just kill that theory.
Right,
So,
right.
happy balance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, Dr. Stevenson, when are you going to be teaching the next course?
The next course will be the end of January. I'll start class one. I have class one, class two, and class three.
Okay.
Each class that I have, it's one day a month. I start the class at 9 o'clock in the morning and it's over at 2. It's very rigorous. And
Mm,
so we're talking back and forth. I am not a talking head. I make sure that you understand
mm-hmm.
communication styles, blood pressure, pH, multi stick. I give you usable things using the Dr. Africa method. He put a lot of this information in the textbook of what is it called? I don't forgot the name of the book. Holistic Self Diagnosis. Thank you, Dr. Africa. He said, Holistic Self Diagnosis and the textbook of African Holistic Health and his health dictionary. So I teach you how to look the tongue, the teeth, the face.
Mm-hmm.
I teach you how to read the urine, the pH, the blood pressure. Those numbers mean something. They actually show you what's going on inside the body. You can look at the hair and tell what's going on. And by the way, sister, your skin is amazing. And every time I look at it and I see the glow, I say, you go, girl. Whatever you're doing, continue to do it. So we also look at the communication styles. We talk about the emotions and how the emotions affect the body. So we have a full holistic course where you once you learn all that, then you can learn what you should give a person, what they actually need. Food science, you learn that as well as remedies.
Okay.
3 different classes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, everyone. And Dr. Stevenson, do you have a Cash App or anything like that?
You know what? I want them to give it to you, my aunt. I want them to give it to you. And I really appreciate it. And the outpouring that I got when Dr. Africa passed away,
Mm-hmm.
you can't imagine how that made me feel. I mean, like I'm tearing up just, you know, thinking about it. And I'm so grateful. But me being here on your platform, I want to support you today. And
Okay.
so to give to me, I want them to give it to you
Okay.
because you're the reason why I'm here at
Mm-hmm.
this platform. And if they want to come to the website lailaafrica.com and they want to get something that's going to help themselves, if they
Yeah.
want to get a book that they want to read, they can do that. But as far as any donations, please, I want to support your channel and your growth and your upward movement. And I just want to tell you to keep up the good work. And I'm so proud of you. And thank you so much for giving me a chance to be on your platform.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. This has really lifted my spirit and my vibration. I really do appreciate it. And I'm thankful for you. And I don't want it to go a whole nother year before we talk again. But
I'm your sister. You call me.
nope.
I had a little bit of turbulence this year,
Yeah.
so you have to please excuse me. This was a very turbulent year for me, but 2023 will be more focused. And if you need me, I am here for you, my sister.
Oh,
I'm here
thank
for
you
you.
so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Jabril, we're gonna have her back. Because health is a goes the gamut. So we have to have other conversations as well. But I really do. I thank you for pouring into me, pouring into this channel, and just doing what you do. And I will, because I do some holistic health things. So I really will be looking into the course as well because I would love to take it live. So yes, I want to
Keep
thank.
up the good work, baby girl. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. I got to snap my fingers at you, and I'm sure Dr. Africa is smiling, saying, continue the forward motion,
Mhm.
continue what you're doing. But thank you so much. Thank you, Maad. I really appreciate it. And you have lifted my spirit today. And please tell all your listeners that, they're my brothers and sisters and they mean a lot to me. And just do the best you can. Do the
Mm,
best you can.
yes,
Every day, just do the best you can.
thank you. So everyone who came through, I saw you. I appreciate you. I'm just gonna go through and shout out to Jabril, Sister Cheryl,
Thank
Hack,
you.
Let's see, Keon, my love, just duet, King Simon, peace to you. The Black Basketball Channel with Zen Master, thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through, Sir Hell. I think that's everyone, but anyone, I hope I didn't miss anyone, but anyone that I did miss. Oh, Don, peace to you, Don. Thank you for coming through. Always good to see you, sister. And oh, Ross Sublime, thank you as well. I think I got everyone, but I just wanted to say to everyone that I do appreciate y'all for coming through, joining in the conversation. And as always, Dr. Stevenson dropping so much knowledge today, and learned so much. And I just thank you so much for being who you are and continuing to do the work. And with that being said, everyone, we're going to end the live. Peace, family. I will see you next time.
Toodles. Take care, my aunt. I'll be calling your friend. I love your setup.